For the past 4 years, I've been studying leadership in professional service firms, and I received a major grant from the UK government in order to do that. In the previous interview, in the previous report, I talked about leadership dynamics, and I talked about the phenomenon of the leadership constellation that I'd identified through my research. I was interested in how a group of individuals, a collective leadership group within these firms, comes together, interacts with each other, to influence each other and to bring about change within their organisation as a whole. The second report looks at all the case studies in the research and draws together common themes to understand better how individuals end up in these leadership positions and what they actually do once they get there. And together with my colleague Johan Alverhus, I've identified 3 leadership tactics in professional service firms. The first tactic is gaining and retaining the legitimacy to lead through market success. That is indirect, but it's something that you have to do in order to earn the right to lead these firms. The second one is more overt. It's what you do once you actually get there. It's about enabling autonomy whilst maintaining control. The third one is covert, and perhaps to some extent a bit surprising, and that is about acting politically whilst appearing apolitical. This report, the second report, is called Reluctant Leaders and Autonomous Followers. What's emerged very clearly from this phase of the research is the phenomenon of the reluctant leader. And you can find the explanations for this phenomenon in all 3 of the tactics that I've identified. So with the first one, the first tactic of gaining and retaining legitimacy to lead through commercial success, what these leaders are asked to do is basically give up their first love, which is their commercial work, their clients, to move away from the thing that they're brilliantly good at and that they really, really enjoy, and do something else actually quite different for the firm as a whole. And a lot of people are very reluctant to do that. Indeed, most people in professional service firms are reluctant to do that. The second reason for reluctance lies with the second leadership tactic, enabling autonomy whilst maintaining control. Ultimately, this balancing act of being simultaneously too tight and too loose is phenomenally difficult. Individuals moving into senior leadership roles in these firms have the responsibility to deliver success for the firm. They are accountable to the partnership for achieving that, and yet they have very little authority in order to carry it out. The third reason for being reluctant is bound up with the third leadership tactic, acting politically whilst appearing apolitical. If you seem to be too eager for power, too eager to be in control, that's a surefire way of ensuring that your peers will not elect you into a position of authority over them. So what kind of individual has got what it takes in order to operate effectively in these 3 dimensions, to be effective at all 3 leadership tactics simultaneously? Through this research study, my previous research studies, and indeed through my consulting work over many years, I've identified 10 qualities of an effective leader of a professional service firm. The first one is to be highly respected for their skills as a professional. The second is that they don't appear to be seeking power. The third is that they're able to inspire loyalty and commitment. And fourthly, to have a strong personal vision and to be able to communicate it. It's very important that they are able to build consensus, yet also to act decisively, to know when to stop building consensus and when to take action. To be able to transfer responsibility, but also to intervene selectively. It's very important that they are comfortable with ambiguity and conflict. They need to be willing to spend a lot of time massaging egos and not to expect to have their own ego massaged. But above all, and this is returning to the theme of the first report, to be able to identify and navigate the power dynamics within their firms to truly understand the leadership constellation.